Hello, it's Sean. I just bought a 2013 Subaru Impreza hatchback. This is the base model with a couple of little options like the HomeLink rearview mirror, cargo net, all-season floor mats. I think that's really about it. It does not have cruise control. It does come standard with Bluetooth, 7 airbags including a knee airbag, and I think that's about it for cool stuff. Oh, it's got CVT, continuously variable transmission, which so far I like it. I did not like the one I drove in the Nissan Juke. I've heard a lot of problems and complaints about them. Well, not really problems, but just people who don't like them for certain reasons. So far, I really like this one. It's smooth. Some people complain about a whine, but I've heard if you have the radio on, there's nothing. If you're cruising with the windows down, there's nothing. If you've got the windows up, you're going slow, everything's quiet. You might hear a little bit, but that's nothing to complain about, nothing to worry about. I bought this to replace my 2012 Kia Rio EX hatchback. Basically what that thing had over this would be power folding mirrors, directionals on the mirrors, alloy wheels, UVO system with upgraded stereo, backup camera, and that's about it. It did not have the 40 mpg, or it got reduced to 36 mpg from 40 shortly after I bought it, which is good for a nice little gas rebate if you wanted to go that route. That was about it. It had a rough ride. It was a ton of fun, don't get me wrong. I loved the car, but when I found out I can get this for the same payment that I started at with that, with the Rio, I jumped on it. I watched a ton of reviews, did a ton of homework on this thing. I bought it from Lakeland Automotive, bought it from Hugh Coker, great guy, awesome. Had a great time. I love the car, smooth ride, no shifting obviously, it's a nice smooth acceleration. More than enough power for me. I'm not looking to do any racing or anything with it. It was great on the interstate, great on the county roads. Seats are nice, it's very comfortable. There's a ton of legroom in this thing. I'm 6 foot, 216 pounds, and there's more than enough legroom up front for me. Give you a little quickie view of the dash. And there's plenty of room in the back for me as well. Can't really see it too well, but I can hop right in here without a problem. And there's, may not look like much, but it sure feels like a lot. I can put my legs forward. There's room for another person in here easily. Well, it's a very nice car, good fit and finish. Some things might feel a little cheap, but everything seems to work great. Nice big windshield. You're sitting in this thing and it does feel like an SUV. Here's like a shot from the driver's position. Nice big door, small pillars, good view all around. The hatch in the back here really gives you a lot of added space. One thing I found out quickly is if you've got the car locked like this, press the center button and lock it, and you realize there's something in the back I want. You don't need to hit the unlock button twice. You simply hit the button that has the trunk logo, and there you go. I know when I had my Rio, it would constantly, I'd have to hit the unlock button like at least 2 or 3 times to get it to open, because sometimes the second time wouldn't click, or it was just being a pain. But I like it. There's not with a bigger tailgate too. Taller people might have to duck a little bit. I know I do. Didn't have to do that with the Rio, but then again, it didn't stick out this far. This thing has a ton of cargo space. I can put 2 fully packed backpacks back here, a sleeping bag, a tent, and I still have room for the cargo net, some stuff in here, and then a couple of people up there. I can take 3 people in here, fold that seat down, and have plenty of space for more stuff. Kettles, more sleeping bags obviously for more people. One thing I'll say is you have to really push down in that tailgate to get it to close. Sometimes it doesn't close all the way. With the Rio in the cold, the tailgate wouldn't open all the way. It'd come up maybe a third or 2/3 of the way, and you'd have to open it. This thing, it's not a problem. Once you pop it, it opens up quickly all the way. It's got the new 2-liter Boxster engine. It seems like a very good little engine. Does great. No problem on the highway, no problem accelerating. If you watch some of the different reviews on this thing, they'll say, well, it, is either underpowered or if you take your foot off the pedal, the gas, it'll seem to do a lot of engine braking. It seems like they've fixed all that. When I got it home, I drove down from Sheboygan to Racine about 70 some miles, and I got to the off-ramp. I just took my foot off the gas, and it didn't like slam down or anything, didn't come down hard. It's just a nice easy coast. It didn't coast too much, it didn't coast too little. It was just right where I like it personally. So if you're looking for something, especially with all-wheel drive, which is, I wasn't looking for that in my next vehicle. I mostly wanted something where I could get a rough rack, more comfort, more space. I definitely wanted another hatch, which this thing, for 150 bucks, you get a new roof rack. It just pops into here, where you get the rails. For another 150 or 200 bucks, you get everything you need for the kayak. Accessories aren't bad, and it's a Subaru. I mean, they're great cars. It's a symmetrical all-wheel drive. If you go on the Subaru website, there is so much that Subaru does for their fans. I mean, there are all kinds of things. I found you can get some badges that go on the back here, where it tells you, I don't have them yet, I'll probably do a quick video when I do get it, but it'd go like right over here, where there's a little blue thing and a chrome accent that says how many Subarus you've had or which number you're on, and then you can choose from 4 different hobbies of yours. They've got different hobbies and interests, from running and kayaking to camping and cooking, gardening, all kinds of stuff. Just go on the website, go to Subaru Owners or Subaru Ownership, and you can see all the cool stuff they offer. They do all kinds of activities across the United States. I figure I'm in Wisconsin, what's going to be up here, because they've got a lot of stuff down south that you always hear about. But they've got the Chicago Mud Run. It's a little obstacle course. It's basically in mud, and they hold it every year. It looks like a lot of fun. I thought about doing it this year, but I think I might be either too late or I'll just wait till next year. You can sign up in December for like 40 bucks or something. But it looks like a ton of fun. I'll take some friends with me. My favorite thing about this car, above all else, including the ride, is the range. It's got a 14.5 gallon tank. And so far, I've got about 170 or 180 miles on this tank, the first one from when I bought it. And I'm just down now past 1/4 of a tank. So I'll still easily hit 400 miles. There's a nice little piece on the dash here I'll show you quick that when you start it up, it'll show you how far you have to go, and based on your driving, it'll change it. And from what I've seen from working at a used car dealership, they're pretty accurate. If you do a lot of heavy driving and then you do a lot of light driving, it'll change. Right here it says 280, and that'll go up or down a little bit depending on your driving. When I got this, I got it with 34 miles on it. I have now got 205.4, which you figure I went about 270 miles, or 170 miles. So you add those two together, that's a good distance. That'll easily put 400 on a tank. You've got this little guy here that's going to show you what kind of mileage you're getting, and it works pretty good. I think BMW had that in their 2007 3 Series. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. You got your different ways of seeing that. The clock is easily adjustable. Just press these to go up, go down. Gives you the outside temperature. I mean, it works really good. I like it. You know, adjust the lights here in the dash when you turn the lights on. Works really well. Stereo is actually really nice. Headlights work well. High beams, low beams. Does great outside. Going through the woods, they're a million times better than the ones I had on my Rio. I could drive at night with my brights on and people wouldn't even notice. There wasn't much of a difference from inside the car either, to be honest with you. The HomeLink is really nice. I'm still working on getting my garage door opener to work with it. It can be a little bit of a pain. Being the newer system for Subaru, it's a little bit different, I think, from some of them. There's a lot of them. If you go to my HomeLink for Johnson Controls on their website, there's a bunch of different ones. So I kind of assuming, making an ass out of you and me, that this one's different. But everything's really good. Fit and finish in here is pretty good, except for what I told you about. The only thing I didn't care was the knobs on here are kind of stiff. And not that it feels cheap, because it really doesn't, but they're kind of stiff and hard. But it's got a nice brushed steel to the look here. Soft touch dash. Seats are very comfortable. Unfortunately, being the base, this does not get the paddle shifters, but if you get anything above the base with the CVT, this becomes your sport mode instead of your low range, and you get paddle shifters up here, which is a lot of fun. You also get cruise control, which would be over here on the newer models. This one just gives you Bluetooth, the availability to change your mode, and then your sound. This one also does not have satellite radio, which I really miss about my Rio. And I can do without it though, since this does work pretty well with my phone. The Bluetooth isn't as good, since it doesn't have the infotainment system where it downloads all your contacts and that. I manually go through my phone, because I'm not going to manually enter 150 names into this thing. It'd take forever. But overall, I love it. I can see why people say that they're so nice and that these cars do grow on you. Because it has. I've had this thing for not even 2 whole days, and I love it. I bought the extended warranty for 7 years, 100,000 miles. That covers literally everything, bumper to bumper. If you get into a trouble or something, tire goes out, or say you have a pump go on you, or a wheel bearing, or a seal or something, they'll tow this away with another one on the truck ready to go for you. Put your stuff in there and be on your way. And then when you come back, they have yours all ready for you. They'll take care of your expenses, your food, your lodging, and all that. I really like the sound of that, especially since I bought this thing just to go camping with my nephews and my friends and to go on adventures. I can't wait to take this thing out to California. And this is the first Japanese car I've owned for myself to, kind of keep. I've had a couple other little goofball toys. Actually, that's a lie. I had a Toyota Camry in '98, and it was a great car until the computer fried. Or until that's what the dealership said. And we ended up getting rid of it, and I found out it was just fine, just they never checked the radio circuit. Because it had an aftermarket radio in there, which was goofing things up a bit. But overall, this is a great little vehicle. Very spacious inside, small footprint, 36 mpg on the highway. I'm confident I'm going to get at least probably 32, 33 overall with it. So I love it. It's a million times better than the Rio I had. It's not as fast from 0 to 60 or in a quarter mile, but if you're buying something like this or the Rio, you're not looking to go fast, so I'm not worried about it. But it's plenty comfortable. I can get me and 3 of my friends in here. If you guys have any questions or comments, post them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll probably make another one as I get some stuff on here and as I get to go out and have some fun. I can't wait for winter now. It's going to be so much better with this thing. So until next time, take care and enjoy your ride.